For some reason, I have a gap in my real-time strategy knowledge when the genre first made the trip to 3D. I missed out on Dark Reign and Total Annihilation, and I think my first 3D RTS was Perimeter of all games. The reason I mention this is Planetary Annihilation TITANS is a standalone expansion to Planetary Annihilation, which is a spiritual successor to Supreme Commander, which is itself a spiritual successor to Total Annihilation. I'm at least 3 games removed from a frame of reference here. As I made mention in my video on Company of Heroes 2, I suck at real-time strategy games. Despite that fact, I've always enjoyed the genre and have made my peace with being that player that places each building in their base meticulously, building up the perfect army to squash the enemy with. My approach to playing Titans was to play in my usual style, but to try and imagine what a top-tier RTS player would do, and how Titans allowed such a style of play. It's all about forward momentum. My guess is that high-level play in any RTS is like this, but Titan seems to be designed around an aggressive playstyle. The abundance of resources on most planets allow you to pump out building after building and unit after unit. To aid this, the factories have a continuous build mode. This was useful even for my playstyle, as when my army failed to break through the enemy's defenses, I didn't have to wait long before trying again, as a replacement army had been built in my absence. Finally, there are the resource alerts. With my playstyle, I never received an alert that I was running low on resources. Quite the contrary, I received warnings that I wasn't using my resources fast enough, and I was wasting the majority of what I was harvesting. The main gimmick, as it were, is the use of small planetoids as map space, and the potential to use orbital units or teleporters to transfer units between them. It can at times be disorienting, as moving the cursor around a planet to scope it out or to follow some scouts can bring you back to your base at a different angle, creating a moment of confusion. It does, however, present intriguing flanking opportunities, and a more cautious approach to base defense and unit construction. If a planet you're on has a moon, you can even turn it into a projectile and aim it at another planet. I think that's where the annihilation in Planetary Annihilation comes from. Just a final question, and this applies to the real-time strategy genre more than just this one game. Does anyone else find themselves confused on what units and how many of each you need to create an effective army? I suppose such an answer is revealed after quite some hours of experimentation with the pros and cons of what's on offer. Once I got out of the tutorial, my simple strategy of a small number of each unit type thrown together and hurled at the enemy base ended up in humiliating defeat, only chipping away at the enemy's defense with each wave. This is the main reason I found the continuous build option so useful.